Yo, what up, gang? So here's the latest in regards to Iran, Israel, and the United States. So Iran had been attacked by Israel unprovoked, and it was their nuclear sites that were being attacked. And Israel had said, we're only attacking them to destabilize their nuclear program, to make sure that they don't develop a nuclear weapon and wipe us off the face of the earth. Oh, and that includes you too, America, and all the other countries around the globe. We're actually doing this for you. All right, so Israel was attacking Iran. Iran said, wait, hold up. No, you're not just attacking our nuclear sites, you're attacking our civilians as well. So we're not down for that. We're going to start attacking you. They started attacking Israel. So they're exchanging fire back and forth. And the whole time, Israel and Netanyahu are trying to get Trump and the Americans in the game, in the war officially, so that they can basically do their job for them and take out Iran, just like American legislators and or American politicians have been begging for literally years. So everyone was on edge, like, okay, is Trump going to get involved? Is he not going to get involved? And they kept asking Trump, like, are we involved? And Trump would say things like, no, we're not involved. But come to find out, we actually were involved. We provided the intelligence. We provided the weaponry used in Iran. We worked with Israel this whole time in the back rooms with cigars and all that. You know what I'm saying? Acting as if we're not a part of this. Then it come to find out, no, we actually are a part of this. America, or Trump, I should say, decided to go ahead and attack Iran. So, damn, wow, now America is officially in this war because we attacked their nuclear sites. As you can see, Fordo, Isfahan, and Natanz. Fordo being the most important one. And we dropped, like, I think 14 or more 30,000-pound bombs that were called bunker buster bombs, or MOPs. And I forgot what MOP stands for at this moment, but massive ordnance, blah. Hold on. Penetrator, ordnance penetrator is what they call them, or MOPs. So America dropped these bombs in Iran, and Iran's like, wait a minute, hold on. We already warned you that if you got into this war, we would consider U.S. bases in the Middle East legitimate targets. And so they actually did. Everyone was waiting to see what would Iran do, and Iran basically responded. They threw some missiles out at an American base in Qatar. Now they actually apologized to Qatar for dropping the bombs and saying, "Hey, our war is not with you; it's with the Americans." And Qatar basically came out and condemned the attacks multiple times, saying, this is unacceptable. You invaded the sovereignty of the Qatar people, or the Qatari people, in our airspace and stuff like that. So then Trump comes out, I think on Truth Social, he comes out and basically says something to the extent of, and I'm paraphrasing, um, oh, those attacks were weak. They didn't do anything. There was no damage. There was nobody killed. Very weak sauce attacks. I hope they got it all out their system. Now we can come to an agreement on peace. And Iran came out and said, what? That's BS. What the heck? We're not coming to no negotiation table after you just bombed us and everything like that. So they were talking mess back and forth. Trump comes out later and says, hey, we got a peace deal. Iran and Israel are now under a peace treaty, and the hostilities should stop at this time. Iran's going to pull out, and then 12 hours after that, Israel's going to pull out, and then it's going to be good. The only problem with that is nobody knew about this deal except for Trump, apparently. So the world was like, well, hold on. Trump made a peace deal, but Iran doesn't know about it, and Israel doesn't know about it. Later on down the line, Israel says, all right, we're down for that. Iran says, all right, we're down for that. Then they start throwing missiles at each other, both accusing each other of violating the ceasefire. And now we're here. They came to some sort of agreement. Everyone stopped firing as far as the world is concerned. And now we're here. They're calling it the 12-day war officially, with them pointing to each other saying, hey, you guys fired missiles. Hey, you guys fired missiles, and all that. So that's where we are now. And I'm sitting here wondering to myself, was this a brilliant plan by President Donald Trump, or was this him playing games with American and Iranian and Israeli lives? I mean, not to mention that Netanyahu stays playing games with Israeli and American lives and Iranian lives and everyone's lives because they're dropping bombs everywhere, right? But it's like, what is really happening right now? So basically, Trump gets to save face because, yes, our base was attacked in Qatar, but he's saying there was no damage, there was nobody injured, nobody killed. So why respond to such a weak attack? That's Trump's logic. Basically, he's using this so that he doesn't have to attack them further, so he doesn't have to escalate the United States and Israel's war. That's why he didn't attack them back, because he's saying, look, our attacks were devastating. We completely obliterated their nuclear facilities and their nuclear capabilities, which, by the way, not only does Iran negate that, but also U.S. intelligence agencies say that that's not accurate, that actually we just postponed their nuclear program, not really dismantled it or obliterated it like Trump is saying. Trump is saying, no, no, that's wrong. Actually, they have no more nuclear program. There's no need for a nuclear deal because we've already gotten rid of their nukes. Again, Iran and intelligence agencies are saying otherwise. So now we're all waiting to see what is going to happen. Is Iran going to attack again? Is Trump going to attack again? The most likely scenario is that Israel continues their attacks on Iran, furthering the escalations and this war that they got going on. In addition to them still dropping bombs in Gaza, still unaliving people in the West Bank, still unaliving people in other countries as well, dropping bombs in other countries such as Lebanon, and just doing whatever they feel like doing. So, like I said, everyone's on edge right now, but tensions have kind of calmed ever since Trump decided to not respond to the latest attack against U.S. bases. So, if Iran decides to attack another U.S. base, and maybe perhaps there is damage this time, or maybe perhaps someone is killed, then maybe the U.S. will get into this war more officially and more devastatingly. But at this time, it looks as though we're in the clear. As long as Trump doesn't decide to just attack them, and as long as Iran doesn't decide that the one attack against the U.S. base in Qatar was enough, or it wasn't enough. If they decide that it wasn't enough and they decide to attack another base, then that's when we can see stuff start to ramp up again. Right now, I think Iran's like, all right, we saved face basically by, look, we attacked the U.S. bases after they attacked us. We attacked them. We're good, right? We're good. We're good. I think that's basically Iran's stance at this time. Now, the Iranians did go to Russia and talk to Vladimir Putin. And it seems as though the consensus is that Vladimir Putin's not trying to get involved in this war with Israel and the United States at this time, mainly considering that he's already in his own conflict, in his own war with Ukraine. So he doesn't want to divide his focus at this time. At least that's the general consensus. There could be other reasons. Let me stop that right there. There could be other reasons, but that's the main consensus right there. So leave me your thoughts in the comments section. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're in the clear, at least for now? Let me know your thoughts. Love, peace, and light. Love more than you hate, because there's not enough of that going around. And until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Flip out.